G'day hobby friends. Recently, a bunch of you have asked me how I go about making my patent pending Necro Scunge wash that I use for terrain and some of my models, etc. Since my jar is empty, I thought, let's make some. So here we have it, hobby friends. One empty jar, let's make some scunge. I am today starting off with some demineralized water. You do not have to use demineralized water. I'm just using it because I'm on tank water, and if I don't, or I don't at least boil the heck out of the water, this Necro Scunge can get a bit funky too quickly. So to keep it, get a longer shelf life, I use demineralized water, and I spill it everywhere just like that. Anyway, I get my jar, and I go most of the way, my demineralized water, put that aside. And then I crack out two different inks, one being Liquitex Burnt Umber and the other one being Liquitex Carbon Black. Carbon Black, so here I'm going to do four good squirts of Carbon Black, four good squirts of Burnt Umber, then to that, I'm going to get some dark green Liquitex for the Liquitex Fluid Basics, but any sort of dark green acrylic will do, or dark green ink. I'm going to add a solid squirt of that. And this is why I call my Necro Scunge, or think my Necro Scunge, is a bit different from the others. You'll see a lot of people's washes tend to focus on black and brown, but I think about the deep underhive and what you're going to find there, and it's more like a scungy, mold, slime, green, algae covered everything, hence the green. Now to make it flow nicely, I do also like to add a few other things. I like to do some liquefying medium. This is just a Tilia, but it's an acrylic liquefying medium. It just helps it flow better, I find. Just a quick squirt of that. Nothing measured. Remember, this is a way of thinking more than an exact recipe, as it were. And then on top of that, just a final little twist is I like to add a bit of matte varnish medium, or some, it's just an acrylic matte medium I add to it, just to take a bit of the shine off it. That's it, matte medium from Matisse, this one. Going everywhere. Oh my goodness. Anyway, quick squirt of that. And with that, you have your wash. You could just use a bit of dishwashing liquid instead of the liquefying medium, but this is a great little mix, I find. Give it a shake. As you can see, it's a greeny brown black. That's what we're looking for. Open it up. Oh, no, I've spilled it, but there we go. Necro Scunge, look, you can see in my fingers. It's like black, green, scungy all together. And as you can see there, it probably could do a touch more. I think I'm going to add just a touch more black to that. So maybe one more squirt of each. That wasn't really a squirt, get that a bit more black. There we go. There we go, much more black. Perfect. Now, how do you test it out, you may ask? I get an old brush, run it over my palette. Now, you see that? If it shows, I'm looking for a black, green, brown. If I let it run, I've got myself a black, green, brown. And that, hobby friends, is how you make Necro Scunge. Well, that's the effect that I go for anyway. Alrighty, and this is what I'm going to use it for. I have here some objective markers that I'm making for another video. And I'm going to use this Necro Scunge to give them a bit of something. Simply pick them up, tip them in, drop them down. There we go. And just like any wash, I'm going to come through with a clean brush and just take it off in a few spots, but it's actually pretty good. It's got a that viscosity medium really helps. It's only one or two places where there's probably a touch too much. Otherwise, I think we're pretty good. For a homemade wash, I think that is pretty cracker. Let me know down below what you think. And there we go. Ta-da! So, hobby friends, there you go. Necro Scunge. How I make it for acrylic washes. It's a fantastic wash. Use it for anything, really. I've used it for these little models here. I use it in terrain, of course, as you see me do. Everything Mordheim, Necromunda. You're thinking dark, wet places, not just brown and black, but green, scungy and foot fungusy, as it were. I also do a version in oils, which is pretty much the same thing. I use burnt umber, black, and then a green that I just add to it and keep it in a jar. Works great. Great for my models. If you'd like to see me make that, let me know down below. Otherwise, like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and tell me below where you're going to put your scunge. I'll just get myself some paper towel. Give it a shake.